Hello, everyone, and welcome to our learning journey. Today, we are exploring another exciting topic, AI agents. To help us understand this better, I'll pass it on to my colleague Dharmesh, who will walk us through the fundamental concept and real-world application of AI agents.
Thank you, Vaisak, for the intro. So we hear a lot about AI nowadays, but today's we are focusing on a powerful and evolution in the AI. The topic is AI agent. So what exactly is it? We will go through the slide. Okay, so first, an AI agent is not just a chatbot. While a chatbot can answer your questions, a AI agent goes one step further. So it doesn't just talk, it takes action as well. So think of it as a goal oriented assistant. So you don't give a simple query to it. For example, you just ask a question that what's the weather today in Tokyo? So this is very simple question and the normal chatbot will answer you in one or two sentences. But instead of that, if you could say that plan and pack my suitcase for a business trip to Tokyo next week. Now, this is something which is a mission or a goal for an agent. So to accomplish this, it will uses tools, just like how human uses a calculator for maths or researching something uses the browsers or a phone to make a call. Similarly, AI agent can access the softwares, so it can check weather APIs to find out what is the weather. It can browse your calendar for the meetings and even plan and order the things which you forgot online. So finally, the most crucial, it can think and decide. So it doesn't just follow a rigid script. What is the rule set basically? It break down your main goal into subtasks, make a small decision along the way. So every decision it will take and then it will follow for the next step and plan it accordingly. And it will then try to see what would be the best possible way to achieve my goal as a outcome. So in short, AI agent is an autonomous tool using assistant that works to complete your goal from start to finish. Now, so we have defined what is AI agent, but how does it actually work? So the secret isn't just the model's intelligence, but it is the process, what we called as a agentic workflow. So this is a fundamental shift from the single response to sustainable and intelligent efforts. The key thing to remember is that it's not one and all done. So it is a loop. The agent doesn't just guess the answer, it executes the plan through the continuous cycle. And these cycles is basically rely on what we call as agentic workflow. So let me break down this for you uh, into real world example. For example, imagine I give an AI agent a goal that organize a team lunch for 10 people next Tuesday, finding a highly rated Italian restaurant which can accommodate gluten-free diet. And it should be also within 10-minute drive from my office. Now, if you see, this is not a simple question. So it is a multi-step project. And here is how agentic workflow kicks in. So first thing is the agent has to think. It break down my high level goal into a logical sequence of steps. So it first thought what could it will think uh, similar to human is like I need to find a list of potential Italian restaurant nearby the office. So that could be its first thinking and first thought. Now it move to act. So what it will do is it uses the tool to execute this step. So in this case, it uses the web browser API or a restaurant database to pull a list of nearby Italian restaurant. And immediately after acting, it must observe. that it look at the result of the particular search. So sometimes what happen is from the list or bigger database, it gives you so many list of restaurants. Now from there also it has to look for the ratings, for example, as a one of the parameter, and decide that based on higher rating, it has to choose the particular restaurant. And then crucially, it has to decide and repeat this loop again. Since there is a change, he has to pick only one restaurant, which has, for example, more than 4.5 stars review. Then it will pick that and apply again the filter on that particular data, and again execute or act on that. So this will be the repetitive process, which is the agentic workflow, which will be like think, act, observe, and repeat. So this will continue until your final goal is achieved. So this is what the agentic workflow follows, and this is the main ingredient in the AI agent. So when we say AI agent, we understood what is AI agent, how does it work. So the fundamental behind it is agentic workflow. So how good the agentic workflow is, that would help you to achieve your goal very efficiently. So to truly understand the power of AI agent, let's give a one more real world example, which will break down each of the steps what we seen in the agentic workflow, and try to understand how basically it will work. So here you can see on the screen the goal or mission is very clear, that plan and organize a birthday party for my 8 years old daughter Maya for 15 guests 2 weeks from now, and the budget is $300. Now, if you think this is a goal, then this is not a very uh, simple task. Why? Because it while planning everything, you also have to keep in mind the budget. So your budget also is the concern here, and if you want to achieve this goal, everything should be in a proper aligned method. So how does this is achieved through AI agent? So this is a little bit complex goal. Then we can see how the AI agent will answer them one by one. So first thing is, it there are many factors here. So it need to find a venue, brainstorm them, compare price for the food and decorations, and even manage the invitations, all while keeping running tally to ensure that our budget limit, whatever we set, it doesn't exceed. So let's see now each of these things done by the AI agent. So yeah, so here is let's meet our party planner AI agent. So the real magic is that this is a single intelligent assistant, isn't working alone. To get the job done, it can seamlessly uses the suite of different tools, just like how human will use. So imagine an AI agent at the center of the digital workshop. When it needs to research a party ideas or find the local bakeries, it can activate the web browser APIs to search and compare the options online. When it need to calculate the total cost of decoration, food, and the venue to stay within under $300 budget, it can use the calculator. Once it has a solid plan, then it uses the email tool to send out the invitations for all the 15 guests, and even coordinate with the venue. So it can use the email tool, and crucially it uses the calendar also to ensure that the party date is free, and schedule a reminder to the guest, or also the key task. So think of this as a simple AI agent, and we'll try to understand how does this plan and things works. Okay, so step one. So now the AI agent begin works. Remember the first part of our agentic workflow, which was the think. So our AI agent doesn't just start randomly searching on the web that okay, I have to plan things for the party, then what are the things I need. So first it will pause and reason. So it analyzes the entire goal again, that plan birthday party for 15 in 2 weeks from now with a budget of $300. Now, internal process might look something like this. So it break down this task into, for example, plan a party into manageable way as a one of the logical, I would say, the subtask. So it's identify these key components like send the invitations, ordering a cake, planning a game, and buying the decorations. So crucially, it also holds the overreaching constraint in mind that all within $300 budget. So this step where the agent uh, transition from simple tool to a strategic partner. So it's creating a project plan. So finally, it makes it the first executable decision that I will start with the invitation. Now, why do we think it would have started like this? So if you think more, then this would be the logical choice. It's not just a simply it picked this first to send the invitation, because as a guest count is a fixed variable here that will influence the other decision. For example, the size of the cake or the amount of the party favors it has to order. So first, to clarify how many guests are willing to come, based on that only the other factors will vary. So that's why it decided that first agent has to send the invitation. So this is thoughtful, structured approach is what set apart the agent from the normal chatbot. So is not just doing the things but also planning before it acting. So now the plan is in place. The next step, what it has to do is act. So agentic workflow, next step is act. So with a clear plan in place, our agent now move into second stage of the loop, that is act. So this is where it moves from thinking to doing. So by intelligently using the available tool. So it first action is as it decided, it has to tackle with the invitation. So what does it do? So it opens its email tool, but it doesn't just send a generic note. It will comprise a friendly, clear, and specific invitation. So it includes all the essential details, for example, required for our guest, the date, the time, and the location, all the personalized for the Maya's birthday party. But the action goes one step further. The agent is more strategic. So it consult another tool, for example, calendar. So it analyzes the schedule to find what is the optimal time to send this invitation email. Perhaps choosing the weekday morning when all the parents are mostly likely to see it and respond it. So that's where it will also use the calendar to find the best suitable time to send this invitation. And this demonstrate the crucial point. The act phase isn't just blindly execution. It about using the tool effectively and thoughtfully to achieve the best possible outcome for each step. So bringing us one more step closer to our final goal. So after acting, now let's see the third step in the loop. So now the third step is observe. So after acting, the agent doesn't just assume the task is done. So it enters a crucial third phase, which is observe. So it monitors the outcome of the each action, whatever taken in the previous steps, and then if something changes, then it will observe that and take again the loop will follow again. So in this case, just imagine that it observes that the response to the email invitation, it sees that 12 out of 15 people have accepted the invitation. So the new information is pivotal at the moment, because our agent AI agent immediately uses this information observation to fuel to the new think cycle. So now it internal process kicks begin. So it reason I now have final head count. So this changes my earlier calculations. For example, the original plan was for 15 guests is no longer accurate. And I need to adjust the cake and food order to avoid wasting both food and the significant portion of our budget, which is limited $300. So this is the engine of agentic workflow. So the loop is repetitive. A new reality has been observed, a new problem have been identified, and then agent is already planning its next move. So this ability to adapt what makes it truly autonomous and effectively. Now, so AI agent continues its work, applying the same think, act, observe loop every single task, uh, weaving them all together to complete our party plan. So let's track just two of those parallel tasks to see workflow in action. So first, a crucial task, order a cake. Now the agent start by its budget and final headcount to think. I need to find a local bakery with good review that can make cake for 12 people for under certain amount. So the action here is in the plan is it will use the tool like web browser APIs to search for the bakeries, compare the price and review, and even navigate an online ordering system to place a particular order for the decided cake. Now, finally, it observes the outcome. It doesn't assume the success. It waits for the scan and the confirmation email from the bakery verifying the order is placed or not, the price is correct, and the date is secured. Simultaneously, it managing another vital task, which is tracking the budget, because that is also important. So after ordering the cake, it must think again that the cake cost is, for example, $50. The total amount was $300, and I now have 250 remaining for the decoration, food, and games. So it immediately acts to log this. It uses a tool like spreadsheet or budgeting app to deduct the expenses and updating running the total. So it then observe the new state of budget, seeing that remaining 250, and then again plan think that for the next set of actions. So by continuously thinking, acting, and observing across multiple front, it systematically transform a complex goal into fully reliable plan, all within the boundaries what we set. So I hope that this will be you understood with this example very clearly how does or what is basically behind the AI agent and the concept itself. But the power of AI agent isn't just confined to planning a party, right? Because that is very simple example. But just to make you understand what are is basic keywords and components used in order to develop any AI agent. So this technology is poised to become a fundamental partner across every aspect of our life. Let's look at some of the transformative or real world application. So in healthcare, imagine a person health agent. So personal health agent, this isn't just a fitness tracker. So it's an assistant that continuously track your uh, vitals, proactively schedule your doctor appointments based on that whatever data it has, and even summarize the complex medical report into plain language for you, empowering your own care. The other example is in business. Think the revolutionize customer services. So we move beyond the simple chatbots. An AI automated agent can handle an entire issue from start to finish. So it can understand a problem, process a result, issue a refund, and even follow up with the customer or ensure their satisfaction, all within human uh, without any human intervention. And in our personal lives, it become a life admin agent. This digital helper manage your monthly bills, actively disputes the incorrect charges on your behalf, and even plan your family weekly meal, something like that, and create a coordinate grocery list. So this is a future not of AI that just answer, but the AI that actually manages, execute, and simplify a complex workflow of our modern world. Now we discussed about the AI agent, how it works, but isn't everything is good with AI agent? There would be some challenges whenever the new technology comes. So of course, you will find there will be some challenges. So if we think about what would be the core challenges for the AI agent. So first is if we think about technical perspective. So what are the core technical challenges? So first one is reliability and hallucination. So as an agent must operate on a accurate information, a key risk is that the core AI model might hallucinate. So investigating the fact or tool names or the API parameters which lead to incorrect or non-sensible actions. So second is tool use and integration. So an AI agent, as we seen, has to use different softwares and tools. So it's very crucial that AI agent only as good as the tool is. So whatever tool it uses, if the tool isn't that good enough to fulfill your needs, then of course your final result won't be that good. So that is also one of the challenge while integrating tools to with your AI agent. And the third would be the memory management. So to complete complex tasks, agent need both short-term memory as well as long-term memory. So which is why memory management also is one of the challenge. If we think about one more is like latency and cost. So a single agentic task might require the model to think 20 times, or 20 times it has to call to the API. Then the time would be also a problem that you need to finish work shorter, but it will take longer time. Second is safety and alignment. If we talk about the challenges on that perspective, safety and alignment, then one is unintended consequences. So if you give an agent a goal like make sure no one can access this sensitive file. So what would be here consequence is it might decide that most efficient way for me to achieve this goal is to delete the file entirely. And this is I think not good because if you don't do this kind of some checks on AI agent, then this would lead to furthermore cost, and also you will lose the data. The second is prompt injection. So prompt injection, for example, agents connect to the email or web are valuable to in indirect prompt injection. So in this case, what happens? Suppose it uses the email tool, and there are some suspicious email, or the email has phishing mail. Then without checking, it will allow you in your system, and your other workflow would be impacted because of this. So this is also one of the challenge we have to face during developing the AI agent.
I have a question here. So there is also a term which is known as multi-agent system when we hear about this agents and agentic workflow. So can you explain what exactly is that?
Mhm. Yeah, that's the good question. The answer is very simple. It uses the not just the one agent to do the things or achieve your goal, but it requires multiple agents to work parallel and simultaneously to achieve the final goal. So, what would be the benefit of this multi-agent system? The man consider that building a specialized team instead of relying on a single uh, specific expert or generalize. So a multi-agent system can decompose a highly complex problem into domain handled by experts. For instance, one agent could be specialized in the data analytics. Then data analysis task will be handled by the that particular agent. Another is in creating or creative design expert. Then for that one more agent is working, and third is the code generator. So the one more agent is good in code generation. So all three will work together to achieve you final goal, to make sure that your whichever goal you are giving, it will be achieved sophisticated, efficient, and highly quality outcome uh, the agents will give you. So this is very difficult with the single agent. And of course, your goal is complex, then you have to use multi-agent system.
So I have a question to you. Since you mentioned about agentic workflow, the agentic workflow relies heavily on LLM's ability to reason. What is the difference between the chain of thought and how does it vary from advanced version like tree of thoughts?
Yeah, this is very good question. So just give you an idea, what is chain of thought. So chain of thought is a technique where the LLM is prompted to show its step-by-step reasoning before giving final answer. So this improves the reliability of its think phase. You might have seen nowadays each chatbot to which you are interacting, maybe the ChatGPT or DeepSeek. So if you would have seen in their application, before giving the answer, it will show you that it is thinking, and it divided into separate prompt or question answers. So if you might have used the Grok, then Grok, if you ask something, then it will first reason for some seconds, think it, and then answer your question. So that's where if you expand that, there will be a question answer within that particular chatbot. You can see that it is a chain of thought before final outcome it gives to you, where the tree of thought is a significant evolution in that. So instead of a single chain of reasoning, the agent explore multiple parallel reasoning path, which is called tree. So it doesn't just go through one reasoning path. For example, if you ask question and that question has uh, answer that can be reached by three types of reasoning, then it will be creating three different path. It observes which path would be best for me or optimal way to answer the final question. It will compare those all the path three reasoning and then decide to give you one final answer, which comes from the best reasoning path. So that is the tree of thought, and this is where now the LLM is moving.
So this brings me to another question. So here we also discussed like how the agents are, trying to think in a loop, and there could also be a potential that these agents get stuck into that particular loop, or maybe unpredictably they can fail. So how this kind of situation can be tackled?
Yeah, again, this is a very good question. As we seen when we discussed about our example with the party planner, so we seen that it has to go through the loops to achieve the small task. So agentic workflow itself has the loop. Think, act, observe, and again repeat this loop. Now, what if it gets stuck in this particular loop and it won't come out of this loop and give you the final result? So to answer to that, we should have something called supervise or supervisor or critics. So this agent will be separate from your main workflow, and this is overseeing the main agent who is working or multiple agents to ensure that its primary the goal is to see that if you are in the right path of goal achievement. So whatever goal you set, whether those loop is completing and trying one step closer to your goal. If there is something it feels that whatever the outcome of the loop it is deviating from your goal, then either it can stop that and terminate, or it can again feed to the again goal to the main AI agent that this is what your final goal or the main goal, and try to again think at the reason observe. So again that loop it can start. So basically you should have one supervised or critic agent which will be separate from your main agentic workflow.
So I have a question on deployment of agentic AI. It requires an operational cost. So what are the operational, like primary costs while running the agentic system at scale?
Yeah, so yeah, this is more on the business perspective, and it is a valid question because first thing, whenever the new things or new approach comes, the management will always think about the cost. So the decision when they make the primary cost uh, derives are basically comes from the what we seen in the challenges. So compute the latency and cost. So the think, act, observe loop requires multiple sequential call to powerful LLM. So a complex task might involve dozens of this loop and making the cost per task significantly higher than a single chatbot query. So if you give us just a single query, then of course the price it attaches to the number of tokens would be lesser. Instead of if you want to repeat the same task for the 10-15 times, then your cost also will be 10-15 times more. So that is one part. The other thing would be the tool API cost. So every external tool the agent is using, it has its own associated cost. So if it is using the external tools or API, then for that particular tool also there is a separate cost involved in that. So that also would be the major cost I would say while deploying the AI agent they should keep in mind.
I have like one more last question, which is we talked about the memory when we talk about the agents. So you explain about two things like short-term memory and long-term memory. So what basically is the key difference between these two?
Okay, yeah. So that is again a good question, and we of course mentioned about short-term memory and long-term memory. So short-term memory is the context of the current task, the immediate history of the thoughts, actions, and observation, whatever in the current loop the agent does. And this is relatively straightforward to manage because it doesn't require much memory. Nowadays, all the chatbots you see, if you are in the same window and the same discussion, then those memories it will save and give you answer according to what it previously context is. But if we think about the long-term memory, so long-term memory is the agent's ability to learn from a past tasks and applying that particular knowledge to new situation. For example, learning that baker A is cheaper than baker B for a last minute order. So this requires something. If he has to record of previously done work or previously ordered things, and he kept that record, and then he noticed that okay, whenever we order last minute something, then this particular buyer or baker will give me this much discount. Then if he has that record, then he can compare and give you or use that knowledge into while processing next loop. So that's where long-term memory is used, but of course that also will give you additional cost. So if you want to go for long-term memory, then that will require additional cost for developing the AI agent.
Thank you, Dharmesh, for driving us through insightful session on AI agents. So finally, our session has come to an end. If you have enjoyed this session and keep learning, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more such informative content. See you in the next video.